We are. It looks like we're live. Welcome, everyone. Are we live here? Let me see. Oh, the volumes. Are we live? Welcome, everyone. If everybody can. I'm getting some good sound here. I'm just a little bit. The feed is not going through on one of my broadcasts, so we're going to just broadcast to Facebook and YouTube. So, welcome. Can you guys hear me?
Say something again, Santos.
Oh, can you hear me here?
Yeah.
That was better.
That's better, right?
Okay, let me get closer to this microphone. Okay. Let me straighten something else here real quick, and then we're going to get back. Again, welcome, folks. We got a little bit of a tiny bit of a glitch, but we're going to go ahead and go forward here. Want to welcome those of you that are here. We have Raymond with us all the way from Maine, another part of the globe, another part of the world. Anyways, we welcome Raymond. Jim is out of Tucson. I'm Santos here, Stockton, California. And this is Your Solution Live. Can you imagine that? This is Your Solution Live. So I don't know if anybody is as fired up as I am. I got to keep it low. I think I got to keep it low. Keep the microphone in front of me. Anyways, I'm excited to be here. PNGC Cast number 384. Mind Mouth Power Congruency. What is self-empowerment? ST self-talk. So buckle up. Come on, get inside, buckle up, make sure that you got your seatbelt on nice and tight, right? We're going to go for a fast cruise tonight. Well, maybe not too fast. We'll monitor the speed limit. Buckle up, turn down all distractions. Please bring a pen, bring your mind. Who knows? Maybe you want to bring a friend in the back seat. No, just kidding. Bring a pen, ask your questions, challenge us. Tonight's topic, again, 384, tonight's topic is about how to overcome loss, money gambling loss. It doesn't matter whether it's the craps, whether it's the slaps, the maps, or what have you. Anyways, acceptance, four points we're going to discuss. We're going to try to acceptance, budget control, support, and healthy coping. So stay with us. We've got a call to action. We've got a proverb. Oh, man, I'm excited for growth. Are you guys excited for growth? Even cryptocurrency is moving up, but we're not going to talk too much about that tonight here. Anyways, Raymond, Jim, give us your thoughts. And if everything's good, we're going to get started here.
Well, I would say that when it comes to quitting gambling, it really helps to do a budget. I think a budget is the number one defense against it because you get to see the damage that it's causing you. So if you can quit the gambling and then get on a budget, you can get to a point where you can start to save money and go head in a positive direction.
Yeah, and I'm taking a different.
Why is it so difficult, though? To do that?
Yeah.
Why is it difficult for because it's not difficult to do, right? It's not difficult, is it? Is it difficult to do that?
I'm going to take a different perspective on it. If you have a gambling problem, something's not healthy. Okay, a healthy mind can go ahead and budget. A healthy mind can go ahead and use logic and reason to change habits. But I think we're really dealing with a lot of people who don't have a healthy mind. I guess you can say we have a spectrum of people, who can go ahead and maybe, they have more control. They have more control over their lives and their decisions and their actions. And we have individuals who just can't control. They go through a devastating night, feel awful, maybe for a couple of days, but, they say they'll never do it again, and they just go right back to it. So, it's a challenge. It's a simple but not easy. Maybe, I don't know. Just depends upon the person. Really depends upon the person. What kind of individual are we trying to target? person who just needs knowledge about how to go through the mechanics of changing habits, or is it something deeper?
It's always going to be deeper, Jim.
Yeah.
But you can't get deep, right? You can't get deep unless you get through some of the surface. Or can you bypass the surface?
Yeah,
I guess you could, right? You can probably, possibly, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if you're really sick and tired of it, if you hit that low point, and you're willing to go out and do certain things like reach out. I guess you can go and say it's like if your mind is not healthy and you have this addiction overtaking you,
Mm-hmm.
you need to go and get help, like medical treatment, kind of in a certain way. It's like, maybe metaphorically speaking, when you're sick, sometimes you go get help from other people, like the doctor,
Mm-hmm.
or the pharmacist, or someone who has, some type of expertise, right? I mean, like you go to your family members who can go ahead and monitor your situation. If you're a problem gambler, it's like, you take control of all my money, because I can't be trusted with it. I can't be trusted with it. You hang on to it, because I'm going to go and spend it,
Yeah, we're talking exactly. We're talking 4 points. We've got 4 POIs here on this broadcast. So hopefully those of you that are here by way of Facebook and YouTube, if you have a question, you want to ask Santos, you want to ask Raymond, you want to ask Jim a question, put it in the chat. Challenge us. Challenge us. The only way we're going to grow, folks, is if we're being challenged. And I know some of you are being challenged by the casino. You're being challenged by the craps. You're being challenged by those cards being flipped, right? It's like mesmerizing when you're watching those cards flipping. The same thing with the casinos. All right, we're talking about 4 POIs. Acceptance. We're kind of discussing that here. Acknowledging losses without denial or blame. You must recognize the need to move forward. That's one of the things that we're going to discuss here real quick. And then we're talking about budget control, right? Budget. Raymond talked about that earlier, the power of a budget. We'll bring that. Seek support, and then healthy coping. So 4 POIs. We're going to do our best to discuss that here, get through this. I got a proverb I want to read here. Psalm 54:12. Again, this is PNGZ cast number 384. Get excited. Get excited. Well, I'm not excited, Santos. Get excited anyways. Come on. It's a BFL. Overcome the BFL. Imagine how good it is to overcome your BFL. Imagine how good it feels when you overcoming your BFL. Wow. All right. Psalm 54 here. 51, 12. Restore unto me, Lord, we pray. May God help us all. Psalm 51:12. It says, restore unto me. By the way, somebody said a proverb a day will help keep the sin away. Well, I know it sounds good, but we have to put it into practice, right? Restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit. Uphold me with thy free spirit. Imagine being upheld by the Spirit of God, by the Almighty, and having the joy. Oh, it's one thing to be happy when the checks are coming in, huh? It's one thing to be happy when you're winning in the casino. The true test is, can you be happy? Can you have some form of joy when you got to take on those losses? Because that's what we're really talking about here tonight, is taking on those losses, right? Not continuing the loss, but taking them on. That's a head game. Raymond, Laura, Natalie, Jim, Pedro, Drake, that's a head game. Do you know what I'm talking about here?
I think there's a difference. There's a difference between losing the money, dealing with losing the money, and understanding the leak. Okay. I mean, to lose money is one thing, right? But not be able to go and prevent the leak from stopping, that can go ahead and drive a person insane, I think.
Well,
Not that
yeah,
ability to go ahead and stop that leak. I mean, it's like it just keeps on leaking and leaking, and you don't want it, but it keeps on leaking out of your pocket, out of your bank account. That's maddening, I think. It's frustrating to say the least.
it's beyond. It's a horror story. It's like the worst nightmare that you're trying to get rid of, and it just doesn't seem to go away. You keep getting remnants of that same thing happening over and over. It's a darkness, man, that you don't want to experience. You don't want to experience. Um, Drake, the first step, that's what we're talking about here, man. Hemorrhaging, right? This is what we're talking about. It's one of the first things I said here. There's 4 points in this lecture. The first one is acceptance. The second one has to do with budget control, right? The third point of interest, POI, as I like to call them, is to seek support. And the fourth one is healthy coping. Healthy coping is what I call living in the PNGZ. That's healthy coping, right? Living in the PNGZ is not just staying away from gambling. That's not that philosophy. That's not what I think about when I think about PNGZ, even though it is permanent no gambling zone mindset. It's much more than that. Healthy coping. I like that. Replacing the gamble with healthier habits for long-term satisfaction, right? Like exercise or hobby. Let me Drake, if you I can give you a listen. I'm here to support anybody that's interested in truly wanting to break the chains. That's what we're here for. If you want to break the chains, there's support, there's community here, there's coaching available. Heck, I've got attorneys that I can help. Listen, I've got law firms that I can supply you with, right? They're not for free. I can't give you a law firm for free, but I can give you access. I have resources that I've had over 15 years. I can truly help a business owner. I can help a gambler. I can help a family man just with the resources that I have available, apart from anything else. So you're welcome to come here. Stick with us here. Stay with me. Email me. Okay. If you don't go through the website right there, you can connect. I believe that website, we've been having some issues because I lost my web person. Actually, Cephas is no longer with us. So he's gone. So now it's like the website is I still got work to do. I may need some help with that. You can still get a hold of me. I want to support you. I want to make sure that you don't walk away from this broadcast saying, man, I don't know about that, Santos. He seems kind of, but I didn't really know. I want anybody that's on here. If you want to break the chains, you want to go into the new year, breaking those chains, you want to move into this permanent no gambling zone, connect with me. Hit me up. I'm your resource. You don't have to look any further, right? I've got some free materials. I've got some complimentary tools and stuff. And then we can get into some deeper coaching and mentoring if you'd like to. That would speed up the process for anybody. Now, that's another category. You got to kind of qualify for that. But again, I'm just fired up. I'm excited because God has given me the ability to support you. He supports me as I continue on this venture to just get better and better. And it's not just about gambling, folks. It's not. It's about life. It's about the way you treat yourself, the way you value yourself, and the way that you let others value you or treat you, or machines treat you, or scratchers, or even horses. You might be betting on horses. You think they don't have an impact on you, those horses, in some way? That's a horse, man. I don't see those horses. It's a BFL, folks. All right. I got through the proverb. Make sure that I got through the first. Let's get into. We were talking about budget control. We can do that here. So, um, come on, guys,
Yes,
jump
Santos, I
in
have
here.
something to go ahead and respond to Drake. You know,
Yeah,
a lot of people have different religions. Some people don't believe in God, but I mean, one of the things that I think everyone needs to have is some type of faith and belief that there is, something good out there that can come together. Just think about life. How do all our cells come together? How does life come together, organize together, and make something that is positive and beautiful? Our thoughts, this collaboration that's happening, there's something out there that makes it happen. This beautiful thing that takes some awfulness and brings it back to organization, something great. And we got to go ahead and believe that that power is out there. That power is out there. It's there for us, and it can happen. And
it's
when we
it's
focus
actually
on
in us,
God,
though, Jim. It's
when
in
we
us.
focus on God, when we
Yeah,
focus on God,
God
we're
gave it. Yeah,
focusing on the trust and the faith of the organization that we can make it happen. And I think that's what we're trying to go ahead and allow you to go ahead and focus on, Drake. You have the ability. You have that ability. If you focus, if you can go ahead and focus, it's out there. And when you go ahead and have that belief, and like Santos, I mean, and many people believe in God, right? It's that generator, organizer, deliverer, right? It's like I believe it can happen. You meditate, you pray, you know, and it's amazing what the mind can go ahead and create, new ideas, new possibilities. What are we focusing on? And I think that's where God comes in. And I think you can't get that anywhere else. I don't
and
think
here,
people that
here's
should.
something. Here's something that I want to share real quick. It's important. I would never say, you know what, you must believe in God. I would never tell you directly, you must believe in God. I would tell you to read the scripture. I will tell you to pray. And if I've ever told somebody that, you know what, you must believe in God, you must believe in God with all your heart, that honestly, I don't truly believe that principle. I believe that you can go to the Bible and you can meditate and you can pray. God is the one that has to do the work to bring us into this place that he wants us, because he's the one that can see the future better than we can completely. He knows how long we have on this planet. He knows how long this battle between the United States and Russia is going to last. He knows the day it's going to end. He knows how many men are being killed, how many women are being killed on the field. I believe this. This is what I believe because I read the scriptures. But in no way I would say, well, again, the Bible, you don't even have to read the Bible. I recommend reading the Bible because where else are you going to get life answers from? I don't know of any other place that you can get life answers from. And folks, I don't know who's hearing. Somebody's hearing this. I want you to know something, that you have an ally here. This community is an ally. There's a lot of scams out there. There's a lot of people that will beg for money and will take you for what you got. A lot of people. There's a lot of programs out there. A lot of scams. Not here. Not here. We can come here, we can grow, we can brainstorm, and we can help each other. That's the main goal of this, is to help each other financially, right? Boost the thinking, the metabolic process, the thinking, unlock the creativity that's so locked up in your mind that you got to believe and turn it into a world of imagination and start living by that, inside that imagination. Gambling and all this other crap that we're holding on to, I'm not saying, there's some things that you can do in moderation, right? Some things you can do in moderation, but when it's clogging your pipes and you're not able to really be the person that you truly want to be, and you feel like your body's just ruling you, you got to go to work. You must go to work. So I'm glad you're here again. Let's talk a little bit about budget control. Let's talk a little bit about seeking support. It's a mind game. The losses, and you got to let them go. one of the things that I would say is that you have to find a way to let it go. How do you let it go? Well, write it down on a piece of paper and burn it in a trash can. What do you mean, Santos? Well, man, I lost $25,000. Okay, get a piece of paper and write down the day that you lost $25,000. Write down the casino or the method. Write it all down on a piece of paper so you can see it clearly, right? And then set fire to that piece of paper somewhere. Not in the woods where there's dry grass. And don't catch things on fire. But go someplace, and you got to do that once or twice to let that subliminally sink into the subconscious part of your brain to let something go. Try that and see what happens. Try it. You know, that's a life hack that I've often thought about, and I've even done myself.
You know, Jim,
there's ways to let things go.
Santos, it helps to think that, to tell yourself that there's, for almost anyone, there is enough time to turn your life around. If you're 20, 30, 40, you've got 20, 30 years of good experiences and plenty of money that you can make and save. So, you know, I just, having that mindset should help.
Yeah, it's just, you have to desire, you know, again, the 4 points, right? Acceptance, control, budget control has to do with self-mastery, really. Setting goals. Raymond, Jim, and I, that's what we're actually talking about, right? Setting goals, maybe not necessarily writing the goal down, like, but you're setting goals.
I think one of the big problems,
and then support. We want to focus on support. That's a big deal, folks. Support. People want help, but they're not getting the support they need. They're not making an effort. You're not making an effort to get the support. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I think you know, one of the biggest problems in change, I think, is a lack of trust in ourselves. You know, we don't trust the process. We don't trust. Maybe we say that, oh no, I'm not going to go and join, you know, Gamblers Anonymous, or I'm not going to get coaching from Santos. I don't believe in those things. That's not going to work. Maybe subconsciously you don't trust yourself because somewhere in your life, you know, you have failed and you let yourself down, and you have a problem with yourself and an ability to go out and make meaningful change, or try to attempt making meaningful change, because there's a lack of trust in ourselves. So, I mean, I think it's important for us to go ahead and apologize to ourselves and say, you know what, I'm sorry for messing up, you know.
Pray.
I have to learn to trust myself, and I have to love myself, and I have to care for myself if I am to go ahead and trust myself to believe in a process, to believe in myself, to go out and have that process work for me. You know, I mean, like, a lot of us are skeptical of God, skeptical of Santos's coaching, skeptical about so many things that prevent us from moving forward.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it has something to do with trust. You know, I don't trust myself to go ahead and take the necessary steps to go ahead and make meaningful change, because something happened in my life, you know, where I failed. You know, I let myself down, and I'm not going to go ahead and put myself in that scary situation where I'm going to disappoint myself, you know, and I think that's a big hurdle to overcome. But to acknowledge that I need to go and start trusting myself, regardless of what happens, you know, I can get through this, because you can go and take it through another perspective.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Jim, I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to put something to, you know, I see what's going on in the comments, and you know, I'm a pretty compassionate person. I'm a pretty compassionate guy. You know, I'm here to serve people. You know, I know that those of you that are coming to this broadcast, some of you have a real earnest desire to be here because you're truly seeking something. Some of you are coming here, and I'm just going to be straight up forward with you. The negativity, if you're going to bring negativity like that into the comments and you're going to start arguing amongst yourselves, I'm probably going to remove the comments because I don't want people to come here and no, I want you guys to have a good listen. If you get anything, if anybody gets anything, get this, that gambling and all of its collaborative logistics, if you will, it's all a BFL. It's all a BFL. One day you're going to stop. One day you're going to stop doing this. It's going to come two ways. And you know this. You already know this. But let's get along because I don't want to start chopping the comments. Let's get along here on the broadcast. We don't have that much more time left. I know sometimes we can get a little bit anxious if things go too long. I'm going to play a video. This is me sharing. I get inspired to make videos. Sometimes I'll make 3 or 4 videos. I'll make like a series of videos. And in this particular video that I'm going to share here, and then I'm going to try to read from the book before we close out and we get a little bit more of a share from Jim and Raymond. I created those videos because I needed to hear something about self-sabotage. And that's what we're really talking about here when it comes to doing these 4 POIs. If you've got a heavy dose of self-sabotage going on, I'm going to play this video. So, if you want to hang out for another 3 or 4 minutes while I play that video, hang out. Again, I'm giving away a free quick guide. If you want that free quick guide via PDF, send me your email. It's just 4-point quick guide. 4-point quick guide. I think it's 4 or 5-point quick guide for gamblers. If you want it, it's completely free. Send me an email. I'll send it to you completely free. The other thing is I have a book. I have one book. If you're interested in getting a book, make a small donation. You're in the U.S., make a donation. I will send you the book to a post office or to your address. Okay? One of the newer books. Just a little book, a little tool. Do whatever you want. Hey, you can even use it for fire starter if you want once you get it. Whatever you want to do with it. But let me get to this video. Again, we must walk out of here more smarter, more powerful than when we came in. And if you're not doing that, you're wasting your time, my friend. You're wasting your time. Anyhow, let me get to this video here and then see if I can get if we can all do this here. I'm trying to figure this out all by myself. Okay, there we go. I think we got it. This is just a 5-minute video. It's about self-sabotage. So please listen to what this guy's saying. Pay attention. I know he's a little slow. He's trying to break it down, but listen to what he's saying. It should make sense to you. But before I do that, let me do something else here and make sure that I don't mess up the feed. So thank you for being patient with me. All right. Back here. And we are, there we go. Moment where you should be making a decision to break through. There's these times where you're facing temptation, you're facing the trigger. It's at that moment, it's at that point that you have just a short span of, I don't know, call them microseconds. And the decision that you make obviously determines your fate. We're talking about self-sabotage. You've said to yourself that you weren't going to do something. You literally, physically, verbally said something out loud with your mouth with your words. So some choice of words, a statement, a frame of a phrase of some kind. Maybe you use this on yourself all the time. It's called self-sabotage. And it's very curious, it's very mysterious, and it's a challenge that you face. So how do you fix this thing? You want to go in one direction, you want to do the right thing, you want to stop gambling, or you want to replace gambling, or you want to stop doing this other thing, replace this other behavior that you have, and yet you find self-sabotage. Well, at least you've recognized it. That's a start. That's a big start right there. That alone, I'm not going to keep this video long. I promise that. Maybe another minute or two. That's a big start right there. Recognizing the fact that you have to make some changes. In other words, number two is you cannot, or you should not, say that you're going to do something when you know you've already tried to do it numerous times. There's got to be another, there's got to be something, another phrase, another, not just self-talk, but another verbalization that you need to be making at this point, instead of bringing yourself into this place where, again, it becomes self-sabotage, because you cannot keep saying something that you haven't done. Now, you want to do that, but you're going to have to find another way to convince yourself and to use the proper channels, I guess, if you will, to get yourself to move in a certain direction. We're going to talk more about this self-sabotage, and we have to keep track of this. You have to keep track of this. Indeed, if you're going to create change and you want to see some really great things happen over the next few days, over the next few weeks, working through self-sabotage is going to be the focus. All right, I'll see you on the inside at the top. At the inside on the top, huh? Sure thing, Santos. All right, let's get back to the broadcast here. So I decided to make a series of videos, and when I went back and I listened to myself 3 or 4 months later, I thought, wow, it's pretty interesting, some of the stuff that I say. And it's not because, geez, I'm just so smart, man. Nah, I'm probably what you call a smart dumb man, probably. Anyways, those are experiences that I've had. Those are experiences that I've read about, things that I imagine, things that I create in my mind. And I get inspired and I make videos. I've never posted those 5 videos, but I have them in a series. And I talk about childhood and I talk about family and different things. They're very interesting, and they specifically deal with self-sabotage. I'm going to be releasing some of those videos. I hope that you see some of that. Maybe on another broadcast, I can bring one of the other videos in. They're like 5-6 minute videos, but they're very interesting because they deal specifically with self-sabotage, something that I used to fall prey to. I fell prey to most of my life until I acknowledged it. I accept it again. All right. So some thoughts. I see comments going on. Legacy mindset. Go ahead, Jim, Raymond. You guys got some thoughts you want to bring in? We've got a few people. Thank you for watching, by the way. We didn't get through Twitter. We were trying to get through on the X Factor, but it didn't work today. We're going through Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for hanging out. Please remember to support this mission. We've got about another 15, 20 minutes left here. Please remember to support this mission as I work to, we work together. Looks like Raymond's coming on, and I know Raymond's making a bit of a sacrifice also. And so is Jim coming on here this late at night. Donate financially if you can do that. Donate financially. Just let me know. You can comment, you can share a video, you can subscribe, right? And together we can, like they say, that as the tide rises, all the boats that hang out together there at that dock, they all rise up together. And that's my goal. I want to rise up. Do any of you guys want to rise up? I don't care about becoming a multimillionaire or anything like that. But if I could reach $1 million, I would do some really good with it. I know I would. But to get there, it's going to take a lot of work. Maybe you guys have that kind of idea also, right? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? May God help us. May God guide us in these things. So we need to seek support, and then we need to get into healthy coping, replacing the gamble, right? The PNGZ mindset. The PNGZ mindset. Wake up in the morning, man, I got that PNGZ mindset. You wake up in the morning, you got that PNGZ. I'm telling you, man, that's the lifestyle. You get that in there going, it helps healthy coping. So come on, guys. Who's got some things here? Let me see. Mark says, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Sometimes I get a little bit more inspired than other days, you know. Go ahead, Jim. Raymond, you guys got some thoughts here? We're looking at the comments.
For me, it was really, really important when I was facing my personal trigger point. I was like, well, I want to gamble, but I know that I don't. So that's really the battle that you have to win. And it really helped me. I told myself that in a year's time, I will have more money if I don't gamble than if I do gamble. And that really, really helped me thinking of that during my trigger times to stop gambling permanently.
Vision, yeah. So creating a vision. Like it's like you're pulling out your visible remote and you're changing that channel quickly. Boom, boom. After a while, it just gets easier, right? The channel just changes, and then while you do it so long, the channel changes by itself. And now it's on autopilot. It's a habit, right? You created a new habit.
But I think that for most gamblers, it's about just overcoming the triggers. Mm-hmm. If you can manage to somehow not gamble when you really want to gamble, that's your win.
Mm-hmm. And it's really all up here, right? It's in the gears, man. It's inside the laboratory in here. It's inside the boardroom, right? The machinery room in there. You got to get in there, right? In the nuclear plant, man. It's all in here. I know this is kind of funny, but
it's a battle. It's a battle in the brain. There's no doubt about it.
Yes. Oh, okay, Barry, I had a quick question. So what is self-sabotage? Let me ask you, what is self-sabotage? My self-sabotage is not the same as your self-sabotage, right? What is self-sabotage? We know it's sabotage, right? It's almost like taking somebody hostage. Isn't it?
Sabotage.
Agree? Right? Sabotage. You're in a sense, you're basically just deluding yourself. You're tricking yourself, and you can do that in a bad way. You could do it in a good way. It goes both ways. Go ahead, Raymond or Jim. You have a thought
to say something?
Yeah, there's this guy. I remember I saw a video of him. I guess he was a gambling addict. He messed up. His name is Ramio. And he said that he actually got to a point of loving to lose and loving to hate himself. So I was thinking about that. It's like, why would you go and put yourself in that situation where you rooted for yourself to lose at the casino. And I was thinking, man, this guy doesn't like himself, you know? And I was thinking, why doesn't he like himself? You know, I mean, maybe he was trying to reinforce, you know, a victim mentality so that he can go ahead and stay in that comfort zone. Stay in that comfort zone. So, you know what? I can't do anything. You know, I'm a loser. There's nothing that can help me. And I want to go and reinforce this idea in my mind. So I'm going to go ahead and continue gambling all my money away, you know, and if I lose, it's actually a win because that reinforces my idea that I'm a victim of myself and there's no hope for me and there's nothing can be done. And it absolves me of all the responsibility of making a positive change. You know, it absolves my responsibility of going to the point where I need to go and start looking at myself in a better way. I don't love myself. I don't care about myself. You know, it's easier for me to stay in that inertia of just in my slop rather than making the effort and the attempt to take a risk and improving myself and improving the way I look at myself. Self-sabotage. You know, it's like from our perspective, why is that guy hurting himself? But from their own perspective, they say, you know what, I'm actually helping myself. I'm helping myself. It's weird. It's weird, you know. It's like what we go ahead and see a person destroying their lives. You know, they see from their perspective, you know, they're protecting themselves. They're staying in that comfort zone, you know, because anything outside that comfort zone is very dangerous in their mind.
Well,
which means they have it backwards.
Yeah. I mean, it's and that's why we need to go out and get support from places like Santos, you know, from people, from counselors, from you know, good video therapy, from books, you know, to go out and start looking at different perspectives. You need to go and talk to people, you know, it's like this is the way I'm seeing things, you know, in my life, you know, and maybe you know, some feedback from someone else can say, you know what, no, this is not right. You're not that's not the right thinking, you know, you're hurting yourself, you know. um
let
but
me
it does take that courage to go ahead and make the steps to improve yourself.
yeah, let me acknowledge everybody here. There's quite a few people here tonight. I want to thank you
I
guys.
can
Out of
barely hear
time.
you.
Can you hear me? I got it. I guess I
Yes,
got to stay
Thank you,
closer.
Jim. Thank you.
Got me? Got me now? Better?
yes.
I'm going to get a better set here soon. Watch me. Watch me. They're only like $50, I think. I hope maybe I can get it. Anyways, Pedro, out of time. Drake Miller. Looks like Drake. Hopefully I'm getting the names. Just want to say, you know, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for hanging out. I hope that you're getting something out of this broadcast. I hope that Monday when you wake up, that you don't fall off the bed. You ever fallen off the bed? You think, I'm still young. Well, I'm still young too, and I've fallen off the bed. You want to jump off the bed, hop off the bed Monday, excited and ready to go wherever it is that you're going, right? Because you're not thinking about money losses. You're thinking about PNGZ. Drake, legacy mindset. Laura, safety on the road always, along with Mark. City by the Bay. Sumaya, good to see you. Good to see you, Sumaya. Mark, sports talks only. Barry Rob, what's up, Barry? Barry reminds me of, is it kind of like is it the Lone Ranger and Kato? He's got kind of like one of them. Anyways, that's a good thing. It could be a good thing, right? You don't want to be by yourself. The Lone Ranger is never by himself. I think he has somebody with him. All right, Pedro, Natalie, Laura, who else? Angela, Jacob. Nice to see you back here. And there was somebody else that came on earlier. Let me see if I can find. Oh, wow. So many names here. No, thought I missed somebody? No, I didn't miss anybody. So again, this has been episode number 384. We're almost done here. Been discussing acceptance, um, budget control, support, and a little bit of healthy coping. Healthy coping is very easy to think about. And by the way, I know somebody in the text said that it's very hard. All things are hard. It's hard to be here on this broadcast. That doesn't mean it's not doable. That doesn't mean that it's not doable. Yes, it's hard. Acknowledge that it's hard. If it's not hard, if it's like giving somebody would give $5 or $20, that's not easy to do for somebody just to give to this mission. Unless you know me, unless you've been around for 2 or 3 years or 5 years, then you understand. There's still difficulties in that. Even when I give, there's some places that I give monthly, and there's other places that I want to give. But when I start really looking at what it is that I'm giving to, I hold back. I don't want to give to that. I don't want to give to, I'd rather give to the paralyzed veterans or the St. Jude's or the family radio stations that I can, things that I know, things that I trust, things that I believe in. Anyhow, so thank you guys. Let me read something real quick from the book. By the way, thank you, Laura, for putting in a plug for me there. If you want the book, I got one more. I'm giving it away. I'm giving one of these books away. Come on, it's like gold here. Take responsibility for your financial life. As Winston Churchill said, the price of greatness is responsibility. Repeat this affirmation aloud. I am responsible for my financial life. Anyways, that's all I'm going to read from the book because time's running out, and I'll get into preaching here. And I just get fired up, man, And Santos, why are you so fired up? Because coming here is a challenge. And if you don't like a challenge, then you don't understand what it means to be fired up, man. And, you come into this kind of humble and then you just kind of wake up. Jim knows what I'm talking about here. And Raymond does too. So I appreciate you guys for being with us tonight. Again, my call to action is if you didn't make the 7 days, you got to start the 7 days. I'm issuing a challenge for all of us, including myself. 7 days. 7 days. I got a quick guide, an easy 4 to 5 step little quick guide. It's free. If you want it, hit me up. I got a book I'd love to give away. Put it back so you can share what you read in it. Hit me up. Send me an email and I'll get back to you. All right. Take on the next 7 days. And then take action. Think and take action on your contemplating goal. Let me repeat that again. You're thinking about a goal. You've got something that you've been thinking about. There's something that's bothering you, something that's pulling you. Take action on that goal. ALF. ALF. Always looking forward. All right, I think we got through. I know there's so much that we miss on the broadcast, but hopefully we've helped and supported you on the other side. Thank you for supporting, by the way. Jim, last words. Raymond, last words.
Go ahead, Raymond.
Well, Sam's Fitness.
I don't know. 3 things that really help me out is that I exercise regularly, I read books regularly, and I budget regularly. And it might not work for you, whoever's listening out there, but if you can give them a try, it might just make a big difference in your life.
And I wanted to go ahead and respond to City by the Bay. He asked about, being challenged by, having motivation, but not being consistent, and he asked how to stay in that positive mindset all the time. I don't think you can always be in that positive mindset all the time. I think what's important there, City by the Bay, is to kind of really get to know yourself. I remember somewhere I heard someone talk about, being prepared for an emergency, like, I don't know, firefighters or police officers or military. And the person said, you don't rise to the occasion in the emergency. You don't automatically become this hero. You you basically fall to your training. You fall to your training. And I guess what I'm trying to go ahead and say is that we need to go and know ourselves, understand the patterns in our life. We know that we want to go ahead and improve. Okay. In your case there, see, by the way, you want to go ahead and kick this habit. Okay. Get to know, what works in your life, what brings you down. Think back to the times when you failed and you got triggered and you went back to the casino, and that's where I'm thinking that's important to go and kind of focus on. It's like, when I get weak, when do I get weak? What kind of fail stops can I go ahead and put in, to prevent me from, moving to that casino, moving back to that trap, you know, you know, I mean, whether it be uh, having conversations with your family, maybe when you have a bad day, you know, and then, having them talk to you about it instead of going to the casino, that can go ahead and, release some of that, pressure and the negativity, so that you don't have to go ahead and be triggered, right? Knowing yourself, when do I go ahead and when you go ahead and make those adjustments, okay, I'm going to make a plan. I'm going to make a plan for when these triggers hit me. That's when you can go out and find those successes, of avoiding that casino. And then when you start finding success in not going, then you start feeling more in control. And when you start feeling more in control, that's when you start getting that motivation, that hope that I can do this. I can do this. I just did it. I figured it out, and you look again. What else can I change? What else can I do? Right. So that's when I go ahead and encourage you there, City by the Bay. Think back on your life. Think about yourself. Know yourself. Find out what triggers you, and work on creating strategies to deal with those triggers, instead of, falling through, and going back to the casino.
Well, there you have it, folks. This is the end of the broadcast, and I feel very saddened. I'm crying invisible tears right now. They're called crocodile tears. No, I'm just kidding. But we have come to the end of the broadcast here. I'm excited once again to say, Lord willing, we will be back here on Wednesday. Actually, this Wednesday, we may not have a broadcast. I believe there's a video that will be playing, and it's going to be on the topic of sabotage, I believe, this Wednesday. I believe, maybe not. But anyways, so we will be back here. If not Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Right here, 45 minutes to an hour, brainstorming, strategizing. And again, this is Your Solution Live. Thank you for allowing me to be here as part of your host with Raymond and Jim. And once again, I thank you guys, Facebook and YouTube, for the privilege of allowing us to share an important message. So thank you. Let me go through this again. What is this? Giving a few jobs, robbing the millions? I'm not too sure about that. So once again, thank you for hanging out. Sports Talk. Again, I'm giving away tools that are helping support you. All you got to do is step into it, right? You got to step into it. You got to take action. Even that one little, you might think, well, man, I've got a mess. Yeah, you've got a mess, but that one step forward, maybe you ask me for a guide, or maybe you get the free book. That one step, that one tiny step, like they say, one small step for man, one great step for humanity, something like that. Anyways, I'm going off. Sports Talk, Laura, City by the Bay, Natalie, Luna, thank you, Pedro, Drake, Sam's 101 Fitness. I put it up there. We'll be back here Wednesday, 7:30. Or make sure you're subscribed to the channel and turn your notifications on all. I know sometimes it doesn't work. If I don't get all the support, listen, if I don't sit here and beg you guys for help and support, not just talking financially, my channel basically drifts out there to the sea among all the big ocean yacht liners and big companies that are, there's a lot of companies out there very deceptive. They've got videos and stuff that are showcasing gambling problems, right? And all that stuff. You would think that they're actually out there to help gamblers, but instead, a lot of the people that are going through those channels are actually going into the casinos. I'm telling you, man, it's all out there. It's a BFL. So, Angela, Pedro, Sam's Fitness, Barry, Rob. Hopefully, you got your Drake City by the Bay out of time. Drake Legacy out of time. Thank you for your donation there. Out of time. Appreciate that. Thank you. Samaya K. But we got to be positive, folks. If not, it won't go well for us. It will not go well for you. Sooner or later, you're going to trip. And it's not good. Sumaya, Mark, and to the rest of you there, Barry, Legacy, Natalie, Lara, Angela. Okay, folks.
Thanks, Santos. You have a good.
Thank you,
week.
guys. Thank you, Jim, Raymond. Look forward to seeing you guys either
My
on
pleasure.
Wednesday.
Have a good night.
I'll email you guys if it's alive. I'll email you. If I don't email you, then you know it won't be. It'll be a video of something going on. All right, folks.
Have a good week, everyone. Take care.
Everybody, safety and wisdom. May God bless you. May God bless all of you. May God bless all of you.
Bye-bye.